Notre Dame is getting ready to take on Stanford this Saturday at home, but rather than focusing on the ins and out of that matchup, we're going to take a closer look at the Fighting Irish themselves as we reintroduce Eric Hansen, our friend from Inside ND Sports. Eric, the bye week always a good time for teams to self-scout. No doubt Marcus Freeman did that, but you were scouting the Irish as well, and you identified a few areas where you think the team stands to improve if they want to continue to make this trajectory climb towards the playoffs. There's a few different areas, but I want to get you to focus first at the quarterback position, because as everyone who's watched can tell, while Riley Leonard certainly has some strengths, there's also been some deficiencies. Yeah, when you look at them statistically on offense, the one thing that just stands out is they're around 100th in the country in pass efficiency out of 134 teams. You need to be in the top 50 if you're going to be a playoff team, and you really would like to be above that. So where can they make that progress? And it's really about, during the bye week, they needed to get away from game plan stuff and continue working on processing how you're seeing the field differently, how you're going through progressions instead of, oops, nobody's open, I'm going to run, you know, extending the play a little bit. We started to see that in the Louisville. He had his best game statistically there. Just building on that. I think the second part of that, though, is keeping Steve Angeli ready and engaged. You're only one injury away from him having to be your #1 quarterback, and you don't want to derail what could be a playoff season with an injury. Yeah, and it's worth noting that Riley Leonard is still going to run the football quite a bit, so he's probably at larger risk of getting injured than a quarterback typically would be, because they use him as a weapon in the run game. Right. I think a lot of people are thinking bye week, let's get the third and fourth string ready for 2025. Not this year. There's just still too much on the plate for 2024. And then on defense, there's improvements that can be made on all three levels. We're going to talk more about the defensive line coming up at 6 o'clock. But you think right in the middle at the linebackers, there's room for improvement there as well? I think so, too. I think they're a really talented group, and they've played above their experience. But when you look at this team statistically, you see a team that's elite total defense. You see them #6 in pass efficiency defense, and then they're around 50 in run defense. And even against teams that don't run the ball well, they've given up some chunks. How can you get that better? I mean, there's a few things you can tighten up schematically. But one of the things I think is tightening up that linebacker rotation. It's so random with who's in there, who's paired together. And I think there needs to be more defined roles in terms of who's in there and also who's playing well. I mean, at the beginning of the year, Kingston Viliamu-Asa, we knew he was talented. I think he gives you the size and speed that he deserves more reps than, let's say, Jalen Sneed, who's not playing as well right now. And so I think that linebacker rotation can really help Notre Dame down the stretch. All right, we will see if these things come to fruition. Notre Dame takes on Stanford this Saturday at Notre Dame Stadium. Kickoff set for 3:30.
I'm Pete Byrne from WSBT-22 News. For more Notre Dame stories, like and subscribe to the WSBT-22 YouTube page. Thanks for watching.